Okay, welcome back. We're in subtraction of whole numbers. So, subtraction, like addition, can be defined on the number line. So let's take a look at this. If I have, let's say, I don't know, 35 minus 7. Let's go minus, not 7 to start, minus, 3, right? That means I'm going to start at 35, and instead of adding on to 35 and moving to the right, I'm going to subtract from 35 and move to the left. And I'm going to move to the left by 3. So 1, 2, 3, and I figure out where I am. That's 35, 34, 33, and 32. So 35 minus 3 is 32 on a number line. That's how it looks. Right? Again, like addition, we don't want to rely on a number line to do everything. So we would take this and also put it into a column. I can take 35 minus 3, right? And I'm taking 3 from 5 because it's in the ones column, so 5 minus 3 is 2. There's nothing in this tens column here, so I don't take anything away, so that's 3 minus 0 you can think of, and we end up with 32. Same number, right? So this is typically how we're going to look at subtraction problems, is in this column subtraction rather than a number line, just like we did with addition. So let's take a look at some other problems here. If I have, let's say, 58 minus 12. Again, I'm going to put it into a column, 58, 12, the ones line up, the tens line up, and then I just subtract. I start at the ones and then I move left. 8 minus 2 is 6. 5 minus 1 is 4. My result, 46, right? Start of the ones, move to the tens, do the subtraction, move to the hundreds if necessary, the thousands, and so on. Now, in addition, we saw that if we added two numbers and it became more than 10, we had to carry it over into the next column. In subtraction, we have to do kind of the opposite of that. If I can't take away the bottom number from the top number, I have to borrow from the next column over. So this is what that looks like. 72 minus 16, perhaps. And if I put these in a column, 72 minus 16, and I start with my ones, immediately I cannot take away 6 from 2. There isn't enough here. So I borrow, right? The 7 means there's 7 tens. I'm going to switch it and say now there's 6 tens over there and take 10 of those and put it into the ones column. So I've really kind of put a double-digit number in my ones column up here, right? So it's not a 2 anymore, it's a 12. Now I can take 6 from that. 6 from 12 is 6. And now this number over here, since I stole 10 from it, is now a 6. And I take 6 minus 1, that gives me 5. Right? And we might have to do that multiple times, right? Let's say that I have 123 minus 55, let's say. If I line these up, 123, and then 55. Again, I can't take 5 from 3, there's not enough here, so I borrow from the 2, which becomes a 1, and I change my 3 to be a 13. Now I can take 5 from 13, right? That gives me 8. But in my tens column now, I have a 1 minus 5. I can't do that. So I have to borrow from the 1 in the hundreds place. Now doing so, it turns that into a 0 because I've essentially taken all of them. Turns my tens column into an 11 now. And I can take 5 from 11. That's 6. Since I borrowed everything here, there aren't any hundreds left over. And so it's a 0, or you don't have to write it. Our number is then just 68. let's look at a big subtraction, right? The same process happens here. If I have something like, say, 9,825 minus 613, right? Something like that. Did I go too high? No, I'm not too high. Well, I'm going to line these up again. 9,825 minus 613. And then just subtract the ones. So 5 minus 3, I can do that, no problem. That's a 2. 2 minus 1 is 1. And I just go from right to left, starting with the ones, then the tens, then the hundreds. 8 minus 6 is 2. 9, if there's nothing there to take away, it doesn't change it. It's my minus 0. And so I end up with 9,212. All right. We'll see subtraction quite a bit. Subtraction is kind of initiated when you hear things like take away, sometimes, let's see, less, right? I have this many less, how many do I have left? Things like that. There's a lot of words here, fewer, right? And the list goes on and on. Try to think of some that you know that would indicate that we have a subtraction. But you'll see this in problems, and again, most math classes try to turn things into word problems in the end, because that's how we relate it to actual situations. So for example, I start with 8 apples. And then at the end of the day, I have 6 fewer. Right? The math problem associated with this is subtraction, because I have fewer apples than I started with. How many apples do I have? Well, the problem is then 8 minus 6. I started with 8, I have 6 fewer, so I'm down 6, I lose 6, I subtract 6, and I end up with my 2 apples. Right. So that's it for this section. Thank you, and I will see you guys for the next.